play Andrew Garfield's mother in the movie, and you also have kids in real life. What kind of lessons do you want to teach your kids as they grow up?
Well, in context to this movie and in general, you hope that your children make choices to listen to the deep voice inside, always, to hold on to themselves and their integrity, and to care for everyone, not just their closest loved ones, to consider with compassion everyone's challenge. And Dennis, in order to save his own family, starts to lose the soulful part of him that would protect and consider other people.
Now, when you read the script, what did you think when you first saw it?
Well, I first just knew that Andrew was doing it and that there was a chance of he and I working together, which we really wanted, and really have a great bond as friends and actors. So that was amazing. And then the subject matter of the film, and that Ramin not only had the script but wanted to improvise around it and look at documentary footage and really find the truth of this crisis. And that really excited me.
Speaking of the theme and the crisis, this is something that's probably going to resonate and hit home with a lot of viewers. What did you think about that?
That excited me so much. I think for all of us, we are very aware, Fannie Mae at the top of that, of this idea of the banks and all these foreclosures and wrongful foreclosures, and then we heard about the bailout. But many of us didn't know what an eviction looks like in this country. And that eviction and the evictions you saw are directly from documentary footage. There's nothing about it that isn't real. 2 minutes, guns loaded, cops at your door. I mean, it's just so devastating that so many Americans walked through that and are homeless today or still years later living in a motel. So, and with, we continue to hear constantly about how many people are laid off in corporate America. And if you're laid off, this is part of your story too.
I can't even imagine having somebody come into my home like that. It's heartbreaking.
Oh. And watching this elderly man, that just killed me. And, men and women of the military, it's happening to them all the time. I mean, why aren't we seeing so many homeless vets? There's a reason they're on the street, because they lost their home, they lost their job. And I thought post-Vietnam we learned that lesson. We were supposed to provide for them. And it doesn't happen.
Yeah, haven't learned that lesson yet.
No, it's so tragic. So I feel, blessed to support the story for myself and for all of us to learn from.
Do you think the movie will help bring any change for that kind of thing?
You hope. I mean, you hope that knowing the story adds a level of compassion to it. How we do something about it, how we consider to band together, you only hope it will make some impact.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Now, your relationship with Andrew Garfield, both on screen and off the cameras, it's great, obviously. So your character is kind of a mother figure to him. Well, is a mother to him, but very mentoring, helps him with his son. Do you have anybody in your life that supported you a lot when you were growing up?
Oh, yeah. Several people. But my core root beyond my parents was my maternal grandmother, who was everything to me and would be the person that would remind me of my internal voice at crisis moments in just a gorgeous way. So I'm really lucky. Many people don't have that.
Your character also lives with her son, and not that he was a caretaker to you or anything, but that's something that parents move in with their kids when they need caretaking. What kind of things do you think that the difficulties that caretakers face are?
Oh, well, that's just a huge question. In our culture, it's not something that we consider much. And not to stereotype, because we know so many friends and people in this country who do that. But culturally, from Mexico to Argentina and throughout Europe, you care for your parents and your grandparents, and your home life is your family. They're not shuffling them off to a senior center or an old people's home. And in this country, they're often just horrific and terrifying and unsafe, and there's so much abuse in them. But it's a common way we deal with our elderly in this country. So I would hope that, films like this and the stories we hear and what we learn culturally about how other cultures do it gives us pause as we consider how to take care of the people we love.
I hope so. Well, thank you so much.